It's a lot of the employees too, because they'll be out of work.
A decades-old business could soon close its doors after a new landlord, they say, bought the property. We'll hear from the owner coming up.
And that feels like once again this afternoon from about 90 to 100, so quite the same as it has been. But Wednesday's going to change, maybe some rain chances in the forecast. We'll talk about that further coming up.
The Rodeo of the Ozarks is back in Springdale. I'm Jacob Luthi, and coming up we'll tell you about a staple of the event.
But first, the live look outside in Fort Smith. Good morning to you there. 5 News this morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
All right, we're going to start this morning with some developments from the National Weather Service confirming an EF1 tornado that moved through Devil's Den State Park. You'll remember back on June 7th, that storm's path was 8 miles long, causing damage. Meanwhile, they're confirming that it was a tornado that touched down in Westport last week. They updated the report saying the storm was an EF1. You'll remember it touched down on Wednesday. Hey, thanks so much for joining us here. Thanks for waking up with us. I kind of feel like Jacob may have the better slot today.
I was going to say, yeah, most days, it's nice to be in the AC, cool, but he's
Not
out on a
today.
rodeo. He's riding a horse. I don't know, Joe, he might have to get up at that.
I know, right? I'm wondering, do you think he's ever been on a horse before?
So we have the live shot to the right of us here. I don't know. He looks kind of comfortable. He did ask how they move.
He does.
He did ask how they move, though, so I don't know. Maybe not.
Oh, maybe not. Just hold on tight, Jacob. That's all. All right, hold on tight for these temperatures, too.
Yeah, hold on tight for these temperatures because that's not going away anytime soon. But the rain is actually going to be increasing. Today, though, not looking too shabby. Let's go back out to Fort Smith, 75 degrees there. That dew point of 71. So, again, it's going to be a little bit muggy out there like it has been. And that's not really changed, but we've seen plenty of blue sky, a little bit of thin cloud there. Cloud cover should be on the horizon. But again, Fort Smith and really all across the area, pretty quiet and waking up to some sunshine. That feels like as we head through the afternoon for Northwest Arkansas, low to mid 90s. Again, nothing that really has changed since the past week or so. Maybe a degree or two cooler than it has been, but not necessarily anything noticeable. For the River Valley, it'll approach 100 degrees. And I do think some spots are going to get to 100 degrees later this afternoon and this evening. So again, pretty similar weather to what we've been experiencing. What is going to be different is starting tomorrow, especially during the afternoon, we'll see those rain chances on the increase for tomorrow, and then more isolated Saturday and Sunday. The best chance will be on Monday, and then continuing possibly into Tuesday. So that's something we're keeping an eye on. We'll keep you updated for, of course, throughout the week. For now, we'll take a look at traffic. We'll go along I-540 at Grand Avenue near the Fort Smith area. Good morning to you there. We're just all Fort Smith this morning. Got to love the folks down there at Fort Smith. Again, right now, traffic picking up, obviously, but no incidents to report. We'll have the complete forecast on the rain chances as well as kind of general rain timings coming up in just a little bit. Joe.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, developing this morning out of Crawford County, Sheriff Daniel Perry confirming 2 people have been arrested for capital murder. Billy Nelson and Eddie Sterling, each facing counts of capital murder. Investigators say that they're accused of shooting and killing 2 people at a home on Land's End. That's about 3 miles outside of Chester. This was on Tuesday. Both of the victims were men. No other information, though, about their identity has been provided at this time. But both Nelson and Sterling are at the Crawford County Jail without bond. Of course, we'll bring you any updates right here at 5 News. And the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office says that foul play is not suspected in the death of an inmate who died while inside the jail on a hold for ice. The Sheriff's Office released a statement to us confirming that deputies found the inmate unresponsive in his cell last Thursday. They identified the inmate as Juan Salazar Lopez. The 48-year-old had been in custody since a DWI arrest back on May 5th, with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement placing a hold on him after that arrest. State police are now handling the investigation into what happened. Once the report is complete, it will be handed over to the Sebastian County prosecutor for review. All right, switching gears, it is Rodeo of the Ozarks week in Springdale. The fun continues there at Parsons Stadium. That's where we go out live to 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi. And Jacob, you're looking good, you're looking comfortable, but have you ever been on a horse before?
Yes, I have been on a horse, actually. You may not know it by the way I'm sitting, or even I'm glad the camera wasn't on when I was trying to get on this horse, but this is major right here. Yes, I've been on a horse before, but I was happy to be on here. But it's just a really exciting event here at the Rodeo of the Ozarks, and I am joined now by the Radio of the Ozarks Rounders. Tell me a little bit about what your group does and how you got involved.
Well, we are a high-speed performance drill team. We practice all year round to put on a show during the rodeo. We're usually about the third or fourth performance after some of the events have ran. I mean,
And yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah. And so talk to me a little bit. You know, y'all aren't competing per se, but you're still a big part. You're a staple of the rodeo. Talk to me about the fan engagement and the engagement that you do with the crowd.
We do a lot of engagement with the crowd. We help out with horse camp for the kids. They have a kids rodeo event that they have going on this morning, actually. I mean, the kids love it. It's a big thing for us. Usually after the rodeo, when the bulls are done, we come out to the arena, we stop, visit, let the kids pet the horses and just love on them, and it's a good time.
Well, I know that you guys have a trick that you guys do. Would you guys be willing to show us? All right. So they stand on these horses, which I don't think I would ever do or could ever do, but there you go. So come to the Rodeo of the Ozarks here in Springdale on through Saturday. You can see this. You can see great competition with these athletes. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you.
Absolutely amazing. It looks like a great time out there. Glad you're having fun, Jacob. All right, if you are heading out to the rodeo today, you can expect some hot temperatures, right? Well, this morning we're sharing some tips to help you stay hydrated in this heat all summer long. If you're going to be outside for an hour, they say drink 1 to 2 16-ounce bottles of water. Now, if you're going to spend the afternoon outdoors, you'll need 4 to 8 bottles. And if you're planning for a pretty long day, load that cooler with about 8 to 16 bottles. That's how much you'll need per person for a full day in the sun. And if you're looking for more ways to stay cool, Parrot Island Water Park is hosting a free event to promote water safety in Fort Smith. They're taking part in the world's largest swim lesson. Now, this is a global effort to help prevent drowning. Children ages 3 to 17 and their parents can get water safety training at the event, which will start in just a couple hours there at Parrot Island. Well, after 40 years, owners of a Fayetteville business say they could soon close the doors because of new landlords. 5 News reporter Parker Abels has more.
Local nightclub Bottoms Up owner Gary Foran says he will have to either close down or move after a new landlord bought their property.
I left no one door, said the other company did. But he said one reason I couldn't stay here because the building wouldn't be insured. They couldn't insure it. It's such bad shape, it wouldn't insure it. Hadn't been for that, I might have got to stay.
Fossil Cove Brewery is also part of this purchase. However, they were allowed to stay, and Foran says it's not fair.
Because I've been here so long, and he owns the bar next to me in the back. They get to stay. Yeah, I didn't think it was very fair being here this long and shutting everything down.
He says he's not just worried for himself, but also his employees.
A lot of people work for me. Some of them have been here like 20 years, a long time. And it means a lot to the employees too, because they'll be out of work.
His daughter, who wants to remain anonymous, told me that while the nature of their business may not seem appealing to most renters, he does a lot for the community.
My dad, he's done a lot behind the scenes in the Fayetteville community, donating to charities, even anonymous because they don't want to be associated, for things that we're passionate about in the area. So it's a bigger impact.
She is a bar owner herself and says she sees this happening to businesses more often in Fayetteville and says it's a disservice to the community.
I respect the people that come in and have to buy a property and make investments and do things, but there's a disconnect from the local community that it's an opportunity that they don't take advantage of.
However, Foran says he's not giving up.
Well, we're trying to find another location right now. We've looked at a lot of them, but some people won't rent to it.
In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
All right, we have some breaking news this morning where Iran's supreme leader made a public statement. This is coming into the newsroom. According to the Associated Press, they're saying that Iran achieved a victory over Israel, which comes as the White House is now preparing for a meeting with Iran in the coming days. President Trump says he believes their war with Israel is finished. Following last weekend's strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities at the NATO summit, though, in the Netherlands, the president doubled down on his claims that U.S. strikes obliterated Iran's main nuclear site. However, a preliminary assessment from the Defense Intelligence Agency suggests that U.S. strikes on 3 sites had only set Iran's nuclear program back a few months.
We've collected additional intelligence. We've also spoken to people who have seen the site, and the site is obliterated.
Now, in a statement of their own, the president's CIA director and director of national intelligence claimed new intelligence that Iran's nuclear program has been severely damaged. Pentagon officials are, though, expected to give a news conference today on these strikes. Senators will receive a classified briefing, but there are reports the administration could limit how much information they receive. A briefing for House members is set for Friday.